Hello Gecko fans, this is Wally Kern from Supreme Gecko. We have a special treat today. I'm going to show the micro gecko stand. This is where we keep a lot of babies. It's worked so well for us. Stay tuned and see what we have in it. I put together this micro gecko stand about 5 years ago and it's worked so well for us. We have a lot of our grow outs in here, a lot of babies that are growing out to be about 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 months old. Before I move them into holdout containers where then we transfer them for sales. Now, this is a working facility, so you're going to see a lot of lines kind of hanging here. We have our dimmers, which is running a flex watt, which keeps the back of the enclosures around 94 degrees or so. We have the stand running off of LED lights. These are high performance lights and they're really working well with these stands and the tanks included. Today I'm feeding the geckos. We might see some of the geckos, we might not. Some of these geckos are super fast, and that's why they're in these tubs that are closed, sealable. These tubs are 6 quarts. Again, they're sealable. I've drilled out or cut out the middle of the top and put some screening on top for ventilation. Some of them are set up with sand. Some of them are set up with a cocoa fiber Zilla jungle mix. They all have a food dish, a water dish, and some kind of decor so that the geckos can hide. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first one. I have these tanks all marked with the animals, a date, how many are in it. This one is kind of a smorgasbord of geckos. This is Vizimba and Bastardi, and I think I have some Androyensis in here too. Periodora Androyensis, Periodora Vizimba, and Periodora Bastardi. Let's take a look. Again, I'll mention this is a working facility. We have a lot of animals down here, so you are going to see some poop in some corners of some of these enclosures. The tubs have water spots. It is what it is, and we try our best to keep these as clean as we possibly can, but there's a lot of animals, and we're cleaning as frequently as we can, but you're going to see some poop. In this tub, we have Periodora androyensis, Periodora vizimba, another vizimba, and a little Periodora bastardi, all growing up. We have some others on the other side. Let me get that top off. And they're already running around all over the place, so I doubt that we're going to really get a good view of these. More Vizimbas, a couple of Androyensis, and a Bastardi running around. Let's go ahead and feed this out. So I'm going to grab the food container. Make sure this Bastardi doesn't get out. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a bunch of mealworms into the enclosure. I've got my water and I'm filling up the water. I'm going to throw some water down around the hide just to give them a little bit of moisture. These guys all like a little moisture in their enclosure. So I've watered right around in here. Let's grab the next container. This is Pachydaculus fasciatus, and I think you can see the one right there. These are really super quick, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time showing these animals off. Very cute animal. This one is about 3 months old. It's ready for a new enclosure, which a lot of these are. Let me grab some small mealworms. I have 3 of them in this container. I'm going to throw some water in here. And we should be all set. This enclosure contains one Periodora stumphi and it contains, I believe, one little Periodora bastardi. I was wrong. This contains 2 Stumphi and 2 bastardi. We're going to go ahead and moisten that sphagnum moss. They really like it moist. I'll throw some water in the water dish. Clean their food dish a little bit. I wanted to mention real quick about supplementation. We're not supplementing today. It looks like we have some vitamins and minerals and calcium in their food dish, so they should be fine. I put some micro mealworms in, and I'm going to throw a couple of larger mealworms because some of these are getting a little bit larger. But the supplementation, will not supplement today, but we will tomorrow. We'll throw the mix of vitamins and calcium in there, and that will cover the mealworms and then stay in the dish for them to lick when they need to. Let's look at the next container. This container has Pachydaculus fasciatus, and I believe there's 2 in here, and there's 1 Chondrodactylus. Hopefully we can see that. And I put the Chondrodactylus in because it's so small. This one is just a newborn, so I didn't want to put it in another container that I have about 2 to 3 week old Chondrodactylus in. That's Chondrodactylus kalahari. Finish this off, and we'll grab the next container. And that next container will finish off the first row. Each row has 5 containers, and we have 4 rows with a bottom that has some isopods on it. So we're running 20 containers on this rack. So these are larger animals, and they are ready to be moved. These are Periodora stumphi. So I'm going to throw some water in here, get an area a little bit moister, throw their water, add some water to their water dish. And I'm actually going to put in some larger mealworms in here for them. They're just the size to eat a medium mealworm. See if I can show these animals just real quick here. We saw the one, so there's 3 more. And 2 more make 5. I know I have a male in here and at least a couple of females. So these animals are ready for market. I just have to put them on the web page. Starting off row 2, this is the first container, and this is the Kalahari I mentioned before. Now this is a little bit larger, but fast animal, so I doubt a lot that we're going to get a really good view of this, and if we do, it will be quick because they are super fast, and I don't want to have any problems. That's Chondrodactylus kalahari. You can just see it thinking this whole thing through. Let's close this before it decides to run out of the container. I'm going to throw the mealworms in, little water, and we are good to go with this container. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time to move it over to this viewing area, but working off of the shelf, this process goes really super quick. Here's something real special that we hatched out yesterday. This is a cave gecko. Let's see if we can take a look at this one. I'm going to see if I can bring this one up because you're probably not getting a really good view of this. And these cave geckos are just absolutely so very cute. Just a beautiful, beautiful animal. I'm going to put that one back in. same routine. A few micro mealworms. I especially like to add water to this container just to make sure that it stays moist. These cave geckos like a little bit of moisture in their enclosure. This is Hemidactylus angulatus benis, and unfortunately I have 2 females and I don't have any males. So let's see if we can get a view of these animals, and they are super quick again, so it'll be a very quick view. Nice and snuggled in there. Throw the hide back on. So this is probably a container that's a little bit too small for 2 animals, but I'm looking for that male and I really don't have another place for these animals. We'll be moving them out probably in the next week or so. This next animal is one of my favorites. It's Binopus tuberculatus. And these are small, pretty quick animals. Just a ton of fun. I'm going to move this over so maybe we can see some of these animals. Bear with me here. Again, we need to clean this out a little bit, but hopefully we can get a view of these. They are super fast. A lot of debris in here, obviously. Let me clean that out. Good time for a little spot cleaning. Get my garbage right here. Okay. Let's see if we can get a peek at one of these. Again, they're very small when they hatch out. They're only about 2 inches, 2.5 inches as an adult. But they're just a fun little gecko. Easy to breed. Fun to watch. They like to sit on the edge of rocks and stare at the... See if I can get this in without bothering anybody here. There's a really good shot of one. But they like to sit just like this, watching right on the edge of rocks, and if something makes a move, they dart out, they grab it, then they dart right back in. So we're going to put these away. Little hiders. Okay, this is a tub of Chondrodactylus pulitzeri, and we actually had one right on the edge, and it's real quick and trying to get out. We've got them on the run here, and I know these are going to jump out if I don't put this away real quick. These Chondrodactylus are so fun to work with. After a while, they get very used to people. They know their feeding times. They come out and really put on a show. So that's the first 10 tubs, 2 racks down, or 2 rows down, and 2 more to go. This is Hemidactylus prashardi. And these guys I worry about because I'm not getting very many babies from them. The pair are just doing so great. But I've only found 2 eggs so far, so I'm going to be very, very careful with these. Fill up the mealworms. Let's take a peek. And this might be really quick because I do not want to lose these. Let's see if we can see one in here. I hope you can see that. I'll show some pictures if we can't get a good view of these, but these huge white dots, yellow dots on top of the black. Okay, at this point I think we're going to put that down. Check on the other one here. It's doing fine. I don't want to lose them. And we are good to go. Did I add worms? Yes, I did. Okay. Again, this is probably my fastest animal in this facility. This is a tub that I cannot keep clean because there's a number of animals in here. They eat like little pigs. So you are going to see some poop in this container. Let's get some water in here. You cannot stop these guys from eating. That's all that they do. Throw a bunch of worms, and again, I'm not putting supplements on these worms right now, but I will on the next feeding. I try to clean these containers about once a week with spot cleaning during the week, but these guys just, you can't keep them clean. This is a tub of Pachydaculus McLaughlini, and it looks like a kind of nothing gecko when you see it, and we're going to go ahead and feed and water, and then I'll show you the animals. But again, they're very quick, so I'm not going to have them out very long. Kind of a very, very simple animal. Hope you can see that. Kind of a gray, muted animal, but their babies are just outstanding. I see the other one kind of sitting at the top here, so we're going to go quick and put that top right back on. This is my one tank that has a breeding pair in it, and this is Periodora androensis. I'm going to go ahead and feed here. We'll see if we can find the animals. I don't want to move around this enclosure too much. There's the, it looks like the male. See if we can get a good shot of him. Very, very cool animals. Very cool babies. Do some moisture in the corner here. Looks like I've got the water dish already filled up. Put the hide over the sphagnum moss. And away we go. This is Pachydaculus fasciatus. This is a single female, and I'm just waiting to have some of the adult Pachydaculus. See if we can get a better view of her without her jumping out. There we go. I'm just waiting for some males to grow up so she has a mate. Let's go ahead and throw the top back on and see if we can keep her in this enclosure. This is another single, and I probably won't even show this one. It's a pretty plain gray animal. Babies are just amazing. This is Pachydaculus bicolor. I'll see if I can throw a photo of the adult. I'm not going to dig around in here because, again, it's a pretty plain gray animal. Here we have a Pachydaculus aureophilus. This is a single male, and again, I have a bunch of Pachydaculus growing up, waiting to get another female. I have a group breeding, but I have this single male that we'll see if we can get a female for. This is another small group of Chondrodactylus kalahari. Let's go ahead and throw some food in here. I'll see if I can move the egg cartons around so we can see a couple of the smaller babies. Maybe they're under here. So I am going to go quick and put all of this, and with that I'm going to keep this top closed now before I lose one. I'm going to throw in a couple of bigger mealworms, and we're going to go for the next enclosure. This is Periodora iberiensis, and again, this is a single male. I'm not even going to show this one because they're pretty much gray animals. I have this enclosure. This is a good size enclosure for a single male. I'm going to throw some mealworms in there, add some water, kind of throw some moisture in the corner there for them. And we'll move on. The babies are beautiful. The adults are grayish animals. And our final tub is another McLaughlini, and again it's a male. I have a single male in here. Don't know if we can see it. Yeah, it's underneath. It's a grayer animal. I'll show some pictures of the babies. They're simply beautiful. And finally, I have some small enclosures. I'm going to go ahead and get those one at a time. This is where we keep the really, really, really small babies. Let me grab those. And hopefully you'll be able to see these. I'll try to show them as best as I can. This container holds little Vazimbas. Let me see if I can get a little closer on these guys. Kind of move these around a little bit so you can see just how beautiful these are. I have another pan of very, very small mealworms. A little time consuming here, but let me go ahead and grab a few of these. See if we can get a little feeding response out of them. These are just absolutely stunning animals, I think. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put some water in their dish. Little spillover. And let's take a look at the next one. These dishes are just fantastic to use. I put a little bit of sand. I have a hide in there that they can go into, and we have some holes on the sides. Here's the hide, the blue cap with the little notch in it. This tub has several different animals in it. This tub has some just newborn Periodora bastardi, which are the yellow tails. See if I can hold this up pretty well here. And it has, the gray animals are viper geckos. So let's go ahead and put that down. We'll see if we can get a feeding response here. Just throw some teeny tiny mealworms in there. I get these small mealworms from breeding my own. It's the only way you can get them this small. And it works perfect for these little geckos. Again, it's pretty tedious going through here and picking these out, but I think it's well worth the hassle. Just throw a couple more in here. And unfortunately, we're not getting a good feeding response, but I'll go ahead and throw some water in. Again, 3 viper geckos and a couple of Periodora bastardi. Up there we go. Got the little one over here eating as well. The bastardi are a little bit shyer, but they'll get going. Let's take a look at the next container. This container is Pachydaculus McLaughlini. I'll move this cardboard so hopefully we can get a good sight of these guys. I have 3 of them in here. I'm not going to keep this open too long because they are quick. And I can see the one already looking around. Just a beautiful, beautiful animal. Love these guys. Throw the hide back on. They have mealworms running around there, so we're not going to add any more. Throw the top on, and we'll grab the next container. I have these containers because I feel that the flex watt on the bottom would be too much heat for them. I have them actually up on top of my 10-gallon aquariums, and I have lights on the 10-gallon aquariums, and those lights emit enough heat that it just warms one side of these containers, and it's just perfect for them. This container has one Oreophilus, which is the black and white one that's trying to get out right now. We're not going to keep this open too long. Get down there. Hopefully you can see that. I'll see if I can get them on my hand here. Take a look at that animal. Black and white. Just the body is just jet black. The video probably won't show this as well, but just a beautiful animal. And again, we've seen the bastardi before. Real pretty little geckos. Back they go. Little water. See if I can find them a couple of little mealworms while they're running around there. Don't want to feed too much here. And back it goes. I don't have any concerns about mixing these species for the first month or so. I really want to get as much food into them as I possibly can, get them up as quick as I possibly can so that they can be moved into bigger enclosures. Let's go ahead and put this away. While I put away the mealworms, I want to thank you gecko fans for joining me today, taking a look at this micro gecko stand. You could probably do a better stand. This is airtight. These little guys don't get out, and that's the key for me. I have 20 different containers over there. I could probably have a few more, but it just works out perfect with me. I've got the flex watt, some lighting, and it really works. Thank you gecko fans for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification all so you don't miss another video. Thanks for watching.